This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
Good evening, everyone. An inquiry into Tasmania's acute health services has heard alarming evidence of critical under-resourcing. Medical bodies today outlining concerns with psychiatric services as doubts are raised over the new mental health unit for the Royal Hobart Hospital.
Painting a bleak picture for Tasmania's young and mentally unwell. The nation's peak psychiatry body detailing alarming cases as a direct result of no dedicated youth mental health beds.
The last 3 young people we've had to admit to the adult ward, despite them having one-on-one nursing and despite the best efforts of everybody involved, have been traumatised in various ways. One young woman was sexually touched, another young man was actually hit.
An inquiry hearing Tasmania is under-resourced in psychiatry, with half the staffing ratio of other states. The Royal Hobart Hospital this year had its psychiatric training accreditation pulled due to unacceptable working standards. Accreditors fear the new hospital's K-block won't be much better.
You know, how can you possibly just do something else which is blatantly unsuitable? And we're told that it can't be changed, but the building's not built. Surely it can be changed.
Concerns raised over a culture within senior management at the THS of failing to consult on the ground, a concern echoed by other medical bodies.
If the managers don't listen to the doctors and nurses who see the patients, it often causes a lot of trouble, and I think we are now seeing the result of that.
The old patterns of having conversations broke down some years ago.
The Australian Medical Association says the issue with psychiatric beds at the Royal Hobart Hospital is critical. An urgent call to reinstate 10 acute psychiatric beds, claiming the government's proposed mental health observation unit is not fit for purpose.
The plan was for 5 beds and 3 recliners in one room for up to 2 days. We need 10 beds where people can stay for up to 2 weeks, and that's absolutely urgent.
The government is reconsidering the design of the new unit. Maintaining youth services will be implemented in the Royal's redevelopment and in Launceston. Whether the plan as it stands is enough for Tasmania's future remains to be seen by today's medical professionals.
For K-block to be a semi-permanent solution would be a very damning testament for the care of psychiatric patients going forward.
Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
3 masked men are tonight on the run after breaking into the Mowbray hotel early this morning. CCTV shows the men, who were all wearing dark clothing, forcing their way inside the business at around 3:40 a.m. Police say they stole a large quantity of $1 coins, which were being stored in plastic containers with
in
black
relation
lids.
to this matter, we are seeking public assistance to identify the people involved and if they could contact Launceston Police or Crime Stoppers.
Meanwhile, a 27-year-old Ravenswood man has been charged over allegedly threatening a taxi driver with a knife in Mowbray yesterday. The man has been charged with 1 count of armed robbery and was bailed to appear in the Launceston Magistrates Court in January. The survivor of Tuesday night's helicopter crash at Hobart Airport is recovering well. He's been confirmed as 33-year-old John Osborne from Osborne Aviation. A statement from the company says he's pleased to be home with his family and friends. Staff from Osborne Aviation are extending their sympathy to Roger Corbyn's family, an experienced rescue pilot who was killed in the crash. Firefighters are being tested on their capability to deal with serious incidents involving trains. It's a skill they hope they won't use, but a situation they need to prepare for, with Tasrail still reporting dozens of near misses at level crossings in the last year.
In this training exercise, there's a dummy trapped under a heavy wagon loaded with 2 20-tonne containers. The firefighters' mission: to lift part of this weight quickly and safely.
We're using dummies today, and we've actually put them under the wheels and in the drivetrain areas of the train to try and simulate someone who's become trapped under a train.
It's a situation authorities are concerned about, with Tasrail reporting 76 incidents where people failed to stop or give way at level crossings, coming dangerously close to an oncoming train.
76 near misses meant that there was 76 times that the guys behind me may have had to come out to help somebody. So I'd certainly want to encourage the wider community to obey the stop signs and don't put us in a situation where these gentlemen behind me have to use these skills.
Incidents like this, industrial, domestic and road crash rescues make up about 20% of call-outs. A speedy response to those is one of the most important factors for survivability.
We work on the golden hour principle, which is basically a 60-minute principle. So it's 20 minutes for response and setup, 20 minutes to perform the rescue, and 20 minutes to transport them to hospital.
The training is expected to be rolled out in other parts of the state. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
Unions say Tasmania's reputation as an Antarctic research hub is being threatened following cuts made by the federal government. The union representing scientists at the Antarctic Division today giving evidence at an inquiry in Hobart.
Staff at the Australian Antarctic Division are under a lot of stress. Some of them are exhausted. They just need more people on the ground to actually get the work done.
What they've actually done is cut public servants, good-paying, high-skilled jobs from Tasmania, and it's damaging our reputation as a leader in Antarctic science.
Liberal Senator Jonathan Dunningham has labelled the union's fears a beat-up. The University of Tasmania's next Vice-Chancellor has been revealed. Professor Rufus Black will take on the role in March. He's had an extensive academic background, is a noted ethicist and is currently the Master of the University of Melbourne's Ormond College. Professor Black says he supports the university's current focus on city developments.
Knowledge at the core of cities is what transforms them. And the challenge of any regional setting is we have to match up to create an economy and society as well connected and as knowledge intense as global cities.
The incoming Vice-Chancellor won out over 38 applicants, including several from overseas. A Tasmanian man will soon be packing his bags after being invited to the National Hedgelaying Society's Patrons Invitation event in England. He'll not only rub shoulders with the best hedge layers in the business, but also members of the royal family.
This is the art of hedge laying. It's mainly a practice seen in the UK and Ireland, but now also in Tasmania. The hedgerow trees are grown to a certain height, and then the wood is cut away on each side of the stem, causing it to lean to one side, and then be entwined to make up the hedge.
When you see them in these competitions, they're generally at their very best, and they are quite something to see. They're like a sculptural effect basically, and but you've got this wonderful fence, living fence at the end of the day.
Scott has been around the globe perfecting the craft and is off again in a few weeks to the Queen's Estate in Norfolk, England. There he'll compete against up to 30 others from around the world, including Prince Charles. Competitors are given no clue about what variety of hedge they'll be asked to lay on the day, and will each work on their own individual section.
You've got about 5 hours to lay about 10 yards of hedge, so that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah, really proud of Scott. He works so hard, and it's just it's really nice to see him get this chance, and yeah, very happy for him.
While this isn't the first time Scott has represented Tasmania abroad, it is, however, he hopes, the first time he'll meet Prince Charles.
I'd like to think I might be able to, so yeah, we'll hopefully have a gas bag over a cup of tea afterwards anyway, if nothing else.
Jessica Moran, Southern Cross News.
This year's Captain's Ride has drawn to a close as exhausted riders finished the 830-kilometre journey in Hobart this afternoon. Riders travelled across the state as part of an expedition organised by the Steve Waugh Foundation to raise funds and awareness for children living with rare diseases.
Riders triumphantly crossing the finish line after a gruelling 6-day journey across Tasmania. Emotions high as participants were welcomed with open arms following the enormously difficult 6-day physical challenge.
A lot of people hadn't started riding 6 months ago, so they somehow found a way to get here. I think the kids' spirit got them there, and the stories of the kids and what they go through.
75 riders left Hobart on Sunday, collectively conquering tough Tasmanian terrain, covering 830 kilometres with 13,000 vertical metres of climbing.
Camaraderie, people have become really good mates, and Tasmania is a great place to ride. It's a beautiful country out there, fresh air.
you want to do it hard, and then realise that your attitude and the way you choose to do things and all that sort of stuff is exactly what these kids go through. And so they're an inspiration to us, and hopefully through our actions we're an inspiration to them.
I'm looking forward to it.
Riders say the demands of the captain's ride was worth it, with the Steve Waugh Foundation already raising more than $1 million for children living with rare diseases.
I did it for the kids, so I have a son with a rare disease, so I'm riding for him.
Amazing, every night you get to see the videos of some of the families that get helped out by the fundraising, and it's just incredible.
Richie Port, Mark Webber and Adam Goods among some of the professionals joining the ride.
This is a lot slower than the races that we do, but in terms of charity rides, it's easily the best one.
The foundation's just been going from strength to strength, so it's nice to come and join such an incredible crew. The camaraderie's been awesome.
Jumping in the river, a refreshing end to a huge achievement. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
And the Smith family is getting into festive spirit early this year, today launching its 2017 Christmas appeal with help from Premier Will Hodgman. The organisation works with disadvantaged young people by providing scholarships to assist them with completing their education.
In Tasmania, we're working with over 800 students on our Learning for Life scholarship program, and more than 5,000 people benefit from other types of programs that are provided in the schools.
A number of the students have said to me that some of that was used for buying their blazer because they actually became a student leader, or helped fund software because they're studying a particular program that they couldn't afford at home. And so it's actually very vast and different.
The organisation hopes to raise $3.7 million by the end of the year. The take-up of electric vehicles in Tasmania is likely to remain in the slow lane until more recharge stations are installed, according to those in the industry. But the RACT says the state has the potential to lead the country and attract interstate tourists on driving holidays if the right infrastructure is installed.
This Tesla opens up dreams of electric driving.
It blows your mind away how simple and how peaceful and how tranquil and how efficient it can be.
One of the reasons Michael O'Halloran bought his battery beauty was to prove you can run an electric car comfortably in Tasmania. But he admits there aren't enough plug-in points to make it mainstream. The RACT's Darren Moody agrees after taking a Tesla on a statewide test drive.
We're not going to need to see one on every corner. However, we're going to need to see them at those 100 to 150 kilometre intervals.
Achieving that could see electric enthusiasts choose Tasmania for driving holidays.
We should be able to probably lead the country in this area.
So, how can it happen? Those at today's Industry Expo say we simply need more electric cars on our roads. The RACT estimates it would take 500 vehicles to make a recharge network viable.
In the next 3 to 5 to 7 years, we will approach and go past that, and then that is when EV charging will come to the fore.
A figure Tasmania is slowly reaching.
It's a little chicken and egg thing, because obviously there's missing charging infrastructure, but then also there's not enough cars to support the charging infrastructure.
And although cars like these may always be a fantasy, rechargeable motoring is in reach of becoming reality. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
Now let's take a look at the day's business and finance news with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. The Australian share market has ended the session lower with losses across the board, ending a run of recent gains in mining and energy stocks. The ASX 200 index has dropped by 20 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 76.81 US cents and 65.96 euro cents.
And Jackson Bird's Ashes hopes have been given a major boost. The Tassie Tigers paceman has been chosen for a special training camp in Brisbane, alongside Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazlewood and Pat Cummins.
No illusions of, I guess, where I sit in that pecking order, so I know I am behind those guys, but, there's been a lot of injuries around over the last sort of 12 months, so, I'll be ready to go if one of those guys gets injured.
Bird has been in top form in the Sheffield Shield, taking 10 wickets from 2 matches. He will miss Tasmania's Shield clash against Victoria for the camp. In the TSL, Glenorchy has unveiled its new coach following the departure of Aaron Cornelius to the NEFL. Former VFL player Paul Kennedy will take the reins after spending time at numerous clubs, including Box Hill, Sandringham and Frankston. Part of the reason he took the role is to help the Magpies' young guns reach their potential.
Generally, as a player, you start to figure that out
23, 24, 25 for yourself and you feel comfortable on the field. You know, a big focus of mine is getting those guys who are 19, 20 and 21 and trying to fast track their knowledge of their own game.
Kennedy will meet with the club's senior players tonight. A speed skater turned cyclist has won the Tour of Tasmania for 2017. Lionel Mordaunt chased down a 26-second deficit to take the title, his first cycling crown. This year's yellow jersey has played out like pass the parcel, a different leader each day, and it's been anyone's guess who would win the main prize. Today's final stage, a 54-kilometre criterium in Devonport. 16 riders broke away from the peloton, but Tour leader James Whelan wasn't among them, gifting the young Lionel Mordaunt a shot at the big time. The 22-year-old from Melbourne maintained the right pace and, with help from his team, managed to finish just behind stage winner Harrison Bailey.
This is my first win in Tasmania. It's also my first NRS win, so yeah, it's really special for me.
But Mordaunt claimed the Tour title with a comprehensive 24-second margin.
Yes, Leonard!
Remarkably, Mordaunt was a speed skater for 10 years before switching to cycling 12 months ago.
Bit of a case of right place, right time, and then the team just rode brilliantly for me, so they were unbelievable.
Runner-up was Angus Lyons, but he still had something to celebrate as part of their winning team, Mobius Future Racing. And cycling action continues this weekend with the Stand Shaker Classic. A record field is lining up for the prestigious prize.
The elite men's race, which will be held at 4:45 on Sunday, has a record 87 riders in it this year.
The day begins on Sunday with the Junior Classic at 11:45 in Launceston City Park.
Good evening. Hobart 19 today, Launceston 21, Burnie 17 and Devonport 18 degrees. Temperatures above average today, some by 7 degrees or more. Bushy Park, Ouse and Campania 23, Friendly Beaches 22, Strawn 21 today. Flinders Island recorded 20, King Island 19, St Helens 18, Lyawini, Lowhead and Wynyard all 17. Conductive cloud over the mainland, mostly through eastern WA. A cloud band does lie to the west of that continent, with another cold front moving through there. Here's the close-up, broken low cloud over northeastern Tasmania. Afternoon convective cloud developed as well. Tomorrow, the high remains over our region after little movement. Troughs run through central Australia and coastal south and western Australia. The winds east to northeast at 10 to 20 knots, turning southwesterly at 10 knots in the west in the afternoon. We'll have some afternoon coastal sea breezes as well. Saturday for Hobart, partly cloudy and 21, up to 23 for Maydena after early fog, 22 the top for Oatlands. Launceston, fine, mostly sunny, 24 the maximum, 19 for Devonport and Lyawini, bit of cloud about but mostly sunny. Fine and sunny for Burnie, 19 the top, 21 for Strawn. Marrawar, a sunny 19 degrees. St Helens, a bit of cloud, but a bit warming up to 23 for Swansea. Orford, a top of 20. There's the UV. It's very high for all of us over the weekend. On Sunday, a fine, mostly sunny day apart from patchy early fog. A similar day lining up for Monday with an afternoon sea breeze. And on Tuesday, fine and partly cloudy, up to 29 in Hobart and 26 degrees for Launceston, Swansea and Strawn. A possible storm for Perth tomorrow along with Darwin and Alice Springs. A cloudy 33 in Adelaide. A sunny day for Melbourne and a shower or two developing for Canberra and Brisbane. A little cloud over Hobart at 16 at the moment, 18 and sunny in Launceston, 16 right now in Devonport. And Joe, that's the way the weather's shaping up as we head into Remembrance Day.
It is indeed. Thank you very much for that, Murph. That's all from the news team for now. Thanks so much for joining us. We will, of course, see you right throughout the evening. Bye-bye.